What a beauty! Today we are looking at the iconic and beautiful Nikon ZF, the much expected and latest full-frame camera from Nikon. It looks very much like the Nikon FM2, the highly regarded 35mm film reflex camera that was produced at the end of the 20th century. At $2,000, the ZF is very competitive, cheaper than the Sony a7 IV and the Canon EOS R6 Mark II. It is priced at the same level as the Nikon Z6 II but has much more to offer. It brings some key features for the very first time on a Nikon Z full-frame camera. A flippy screen so useful for video and for shooting creative compositions. 8 stops of 5-axis image stabilisation to slow shutter speed without causing image blur. The world's first focus point stabilisation, providing precise correction where is needed. A dedicated black and white mode gives direct control on 3 different monochrome modes. Pixel shift shooting, also for the very first time on a Nikon camera. To combine 32 images into one 96 million pixels image. And 6 leatherette color schemes to give your camera a fairly unique look, something that also Leica proposes. The ZF has primarily magnesium alloy construction, which Nikon says is dust and drip resistant. There's no protruding hand grip yet, like the FM2 and cameras of its vintage. The dials feel well positioned such that they can be operated without feeling like you're going to drop the camera. The absence of a grip might make it harder to handle with longer telephoto lenses. Most of the sensor's performance appears to be consistent with the elderly but well-respected sensor in the Z6 II. The adoption of the latest X-Speed 7 processor brings subject recognition to the autofocus system and 3D tracking, and more processing speed. The ZF has a 3.68 m.EVF, which is not especially high by today's standards. The ZF has 2 card slots, but to keep its size under control, Nikon has opted to make the second card slot a micro SD type. The slots are positioned next to one another in the battery compartment. A JPEG-only C30 mode that uses a video stream to shoot 30 fps images, with a pre-burst option like that on the Z8 and Z9. The noise reduction in the JPEGs and HEF files that convinced Nikon to let the camera's ISO range expand up to 204,800. The unexpanded limit also rises to 64,000. The ZF's rear touchscreen is fully articulated. It's an 2.1 m.LCD that works well even in bright light. The ZF uses the same battery as the majority of Nikon's mid-range cameras, which powers it to a respectable rating of 380 shots per charge, LCD, and 360 shots per charge, EVF. These numbers rise to 430 and 410 shots per charge if you turn energy-saving mode on. In the absence of a Z6 III, the ZF becomes the company's best specified camera around the high contested $2,000 price point. In conclusion, this camera looks excellent, somewhere between the Z6, Z7, and the Z8, Z9 higher-end cameras. There was a high expectation for this camera and we can expect it to be a huge bestseller for Nikon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. This is very important for our work. Thank you very much everybody.